So you are having audit and assurance, right? How many students do we have? So then 25 there, right? People who are joining virtually, are we auditing them? And not seeing?
Yes, sir. Yes, we can hear you.
Good. Great. So actually, it's a very difficult time to do a lecture after lunch hours. So then I hope you are not ready to sleep. It's theoretical subject or international, but it's a kind of a very active subject, right? International. I am dealing with the extension batch. I hope that pattern from you all. I have dealt with some more exception badges. And actually, it was a good experience with you all because you are coming from with experience and some of the exceptions. So then, your interaction, arguments, and very uh, the hypothetical lecture room should be changed to a kind of a active discussion room, right? So definitely more than 80% you are having audit experience or auditee experience, right? Definitely. So the more than 90%, pretty sure that you are having that experience. So then you can ask questions, you can challenge me, you can clarify things. So I'm doing this lecture with kind of a advanced approach, right? Because I'm dealing with the session batch. Right. So hopefully it's I assume that it's a new subject, audit and assurance, because we haven't learned, we learned this accounting from grade 10 onwards, right? 10, 11, likewise. But here, audit and assurance, we are dealing with a new subject. Then still come right here. It's pure batch, right? Oh, and then students. Right. Again, I need to repeat myself. So here we have a subject called audit and assurance. The purpose of doing the subject is what? Get past this subject or getting the certificate, getting the degree, right? Sake of doing degree and learning audit and assurance. That's the purpose. So I would not like to please that type of students, right? I don't like to teach that type of students. I do lecturing as a hobby. So then you know that once someone doing a hobby is crazy about that, right? So then he wants kind of a good passion, good, a kind of a happiness from that, right? The happiness is completing degree and getting the uh, salary given by the self. So that's not the happiness. The knowledge you are getting, the how you are performing in the exam, and then the next step. Once you are going out, so what's the knowledge you have? Are you comfortable with auditing? That's the question. So doing the exam and getting pass mark is it's not a big deal, right? You are coming from exception, right? You have that experience and this another subject and complete and get the marks. That's nothing. But end of the day, my request is that should be the byproduct. Main target is to be a kind of a very professional objective to learn auditing. So then we need to have a reason for that. Why we should learn auditing rather having expectation for the sake of doing a subject. We should have a pure objective to learn this subject with a reason. So then we need to think about that first. We need to have kind of a reason from heart to learn this subject, to stay evening lecture to learn audit and assurance. There should be a reason why we should learn auditing first. That's the basic. background I need to foundation I need to lay with you all first. So then, without having that passion, no need to stay in lectures, right? So then, people are joining virtually. You all can log out. People are physically joining. You can sign here, and you can do whatever the things you want. You can go out or whatever things you want to learn audit and assurance. Stay here, right? I want your hybrid attention, physical plus mental. Don't stay here the sake of staying physically. If you can't concentrate to me or listen to me or listen lively join with the subject, then leave out of the signing. So that's my requirement, right? But this may be different with the other lecturers. But this is a kind of a protocol you need to sign, but I'm creating an environment you should participate for lectures, right? Otherwise, staff don't want to continue lecture series, right? They can, they can come up with set of exams, but they are doing lectures with hybrid mode. So then there's a purpose because you should develop, you should know the subject, right? So then that should be the first point I need to inform you. Second one, why we should learn written assurance. So that's the kind of a requirement as a accountant, as a person who are learning in commerce stream. We need to learn the subject because definitely in near future, once you are doing your own business or whatever the job you are heading, definitely you will be an auditor or you may be audited. Right? Whatever the position you are heading. It may be a general audit, internal audit, whatever the audit, quality audit. So you may be an auditor or auditee. To perform that task, we should know about auditing, how we can deal with auditor, how we can tackle. We don't need to know the so kind of a bogus picture. We are not promoting that. We don't need to manage auditor, right? We need to how we can deal with auditor, how we can explain things to auditor. So how we can arrange a kind of engagement letter with auditor, right? So then you may be the leading partner, you may be the leading contact point to deal with in that organization. To heading that position, you should have that knowledge. That's why this is the subject in second semester, right? So this is very useful subject. So to pay for audit, you should know that if you want to develop a software, if you want to develop a virus guard, you need to have a proper knowledge of creating a virus. Right? So then if you want to do good set of financial statements, if you know the auditing, how you can do that? Without any mistakes, without any arguments, you can finance it, right? Easily. If you know the auditing, it's a plus point. To be an auditor, you have to master in accounting plus auditing. Auditing standards, you have set of auditing standards, right? In the 3-digit series, 800 series, 700 series, right? So then accounting and SLFR is accreditation, you have to. So then you have to be a master in both aspects to be a good auditor, right? So then I think after this course, my target is you should know audit and assurance in and out without having kind of a paper knowledge. Practically you should know audit and assurance. So that's my target. I target looking for another thing one. There's no doubt about that. You have to be with me and you have to support to the lecture. You can argue, you can solve it whatever the problems you have related to financial statements, accounting, auditing, cost management, tax, anything, right? So then I'm here to help you all to achieve audit and assurance knowledge as well as the practical change need to be there end of the syllabus. Otherwise, no point, right? What level mark level final. So then we need to improve day by day. So then some of the people may be more experienced more than me. So then you can argue whatever the treatments, accounting treatments, and then the audit treatments. So then we can discuss, right? You can argue, you can ask questions. That type of culture I request from you all to have this lecture room. Right? That's the second thing. And third one, again, answer for why we should learn auditing. First one, I will be the auditor auditing near future. For that, you have to use this. That's the first answer. Second, you can use this audit passion to your life. Audit passion to your life means you. The passion. Is there a passion? Yes, maybe. So, how difficult it is? Yes, auditing is difficult, right? So some of them are selecting audit trainings, some of them are not, right? Why? Audit training may be difficult, right? Some people are selecting other trainings. Audit training difficult, yes, difficult. Some people get in training, stay over there in audit firms more than 10 to 20 years, right? Why they are doing that difficult? Is that a passion to them? It is a passion to them, right? It's really difficult. So auditing is a job, it's a profession. Not getting, decorations, flowers, good morning, hi, big smiles, and hugs. They are not getting, right because of the auditors. We are a headache to others, maybe in South Asian countries, right? So we are not greeting, we are not, welcoming by saying good morning, good afternoon, right? So the Apo Adata feeling so that's the passion. So are you willing to do that kind of a job? It will be very difficult. But can do, it's up to you to decide whether you are going to be auditor or not. That's okay. But audit passion is a tool you can use for your life. What is that? What is that? So after practicing auditing, you have a kind of ability to expert in professional skepticism, audit mindset, skepticism, questioning mind. You can practice over that. So then after practicing this questioning mind, that's really important to your personal life. Whatever the decision you are taking, you are not a kind of a muppet. You can take independent decisions with a rational, questioning mind, always challenging, right? So then it's a leading things to have kind of a good citizen in the country. So we are lacking with those people. All the things always are depending, right? We don't have leaders. Yeah, we are having few, but don't have much leaders. We are not trying to start entrepreneurs. We don't have many entrepreneurs. Because of that, we are not competitive with the foreign competitors. So then that independence, that mindset will be created from audit subject. Because always we are having question in mind. We are not a parrot, right? So then whatever the things we are seeing, we are getting as it is, we can't communicate. We are not an intermediary party as auditor. So from management, we are getting financial statement. we are giving independent audit opinion to the public. What we are doing? Intermediary job? No. We are doing independent job. So then that independence, that skepticism can be used for your personal life. That's another big benefit you can get from this subject. If you're interested in that, you can stay in the sentence. Definitely you can stay. You can learn that passion. So then after doing like more than, with my experience, I am external auditor more than 12 years. Now internal auditor more than 4 years. Right? Almost auditing more than 15 years. Yes. So then how crazy you are, right? Why you are staying as auditor this much of time? So is that a lie? So then have you seen good things? So how about your life? Very difficult. So then see many sleepless nights, but enjoying for the creating values, changing people, changing processes, guiding companies, and so then very powerful, can change anything in an organization. So they're removing CEO, removing CFO. So then that's a kind of a powerful tool we can use. So then if you want to passionate about that, really good, right? Not for the personal benefit, but for the betterment of the organization. Can do. And you can read people. So then after 2-3 lectures, every person can be scanned to me. Without talking to you all, after seeing your face, I can 80% I can think what you are thinking. So that is the skepticism, that is the specialization can get through the auditing. Okay? So then let's think about the doctor. He's a very good profession. I respect that, right? Doctor experience, after 50 years, let's say, not for 50 years, 40 years. So the very experienced doctor, right? So once the patient coming to the floor to the room, he can tell them what the issue he has, right? After talking to him, without any report, without any number, without any financials, without any blood report, he can tell what's wrong with him. Right? 60% he can tell. How about auditor? After not that much age, after 10 years, let's say, after seeing financials, once you are entering to the business premises, or once you are seeing financials, or once you are having a discussion with CFO, we can see what's going on. So then we can scan that. We can read people. So that passion can be used for your life. So the how can we read people? That may be kind of a challenge to your life sometimes, right? In the in personal lives, in relation with your relations, and commitments with your pressure groups, like whatever the society you are representing, whatever the circles you are representing as friends. So then it may be some challenges are there. Why? Each and every place you do auditing. Audit වලින් තමයි read වෙන්නේ. එතකොට එහෙම read වෙනකොට මොකක්ද? හැම question ඇයි වෙන්නේ? So what's the reason for this? Why they are doing this? What's the reason? So the political agendas. We can see the big picture of their scenario. Then interview වෙනවනම් So then internal audit again, interview board data done now then. Normally, big positions, I will be invited for the interview board. So the candidate people, so the value, what they are doing, what's the experience he has, is that a genuine person. Genuineness, professionalism can be understood and can be scanned through this skill. So then you can practice this subject that can be used for your personal life. That's another benefit you can get from this subject. Right? If you all want to get that passion subject, so then you can stay here, you can get basic background of the audit theoretical aspect and then advanced audit technologies and procedures and techniques can be discussed with practical experience, right? So that's the purpose. Anything to be planned. Ideal. That's why I do audit for me. I like to teach my subject to you all with practical experience. I assume that you are learning audit and assurance for the last time. Again, you don't want to learn from any place, right? Whatever the exam, whatever the course you are doing, you may be required to do some additional readings, but I want to give the basic knowledge and the background need to be strongly fixed with this subject. I audit so then after this course, I'm giving 100% about auditing assurance. So then you can equip with that. Then you can proudly say to interview board, I am comfortable with audit and assurance because I had a lecture like this. So I totally engage with that lecture. Okay, across the past mark, but I have the knowledge. So then I can perform anything you are giving. So that's the message you should give to the interview board. Not the so then you can get that certificate from the BMIC as a DPO. That's not a big deal. But getting knowledge and face to an interview and performing in a job as auditor or auditor may be the challenge. To face that challenge, I expect your active participation in lectures as well as whatever the presentation and the assignments. So then it will be done in very professional manner. So then I know that you are doing jobs. You can talk to me, you can ask me, get excuses. But end of the day, the whole objective should be achieved. Right? I don't like to get thousands of excuses. I'm not giving any excuses to others. But if so then to our outcome, we can't replace with the excuse. That's about private sector. If you want to release today, there's nothing about tomorrow. Whether you are having funeral or your wedding or your honeymoon or whatever the thing, you have to release today. Nothing else. So I agree with that. No excuses. We have to deliver. So then, no excuses. We have to deliver the good degree holders. That's the thinking. If we do that, we do this subject. We'll start with the topic. Audit and assurance. Audit and assurance. With repeating, right? I think that is repeating. Audit and assurance. Any idea about that? What do you think? It seems with repeating, right? Audit and assurance. We can clearly say assurance, advanced assurance we are learning. Audit is also assurance. That's the Okay, that's not done. Okay, that's not ABC. Then pattern. Audit consistent AUDIT is this. So I don't want to start like that. I think. So then you are going to audit firms, right? You are going audit firms. In here, you are not getting right. So the people who are joining, can you see my screen?
Yes, sir, we can see.
Okay. Normally we know this word audit firms. They are going trainings in audit firms, right? Big four, local firms. Here we know that word, but it is not called assurance firm, right? It's not assurance firm. Should be corrected. Should be assurance firm. Assurance firms, right? You are getting assurance training, not audit training. So then, why I'm telling like that? So then we are learning audit and assurance, right? Audit and assurance. Assurance. Assurance can be divided to high-level assurance, low-level assurance, high-level assurance, low-level assurance. High-level assurance, we have example here. What are they? Audit. Audit. So then, statutory audit, special purpose audit, and then low-level assurance, review. Review engagement. And then prospective financial statement. Prospective the forecasted financial statement. For forecasted financial statement, we are giving low level assurance. So then we call audit firms. So then audit under only high level assurance, right? So then this is assurance. In other side, we have non-assurance services. Non-assurance services. In audit firm, we have non-assurance services. What are they? Tax, advisory, forensic accounting, and then so that we have non-assurance engagement as well, agreed upon procedure, AUP. AUP. So then assurance and non-assurance services are given by the audit firm. So these are the services we can get from an audit firm. So then as an audit training, you are getting this type of assurance, non-assurance experience. But it is called audit firm. But it should be changed to assurance firm. Because with the knowledge, you know that audit also assurance. So the why I tell it like that, audit. So from assurance, 90% are audits. The average number, 90% may be audit. From this 90%, another 60% or 75% may be statutory audit. Statutory audit. 90%, 60%, from 90%, 60% may be statutory audit. So that's why we are telling we are going audit first. That's the this from young last email. Apply not exception from it. That's what it is. අතාවක් අහලා නැද්ද? මේ ආලු කොන්දනේ හිටියලු. කෙනෙක් ડોක්ටර් කෙනෙක් හිටියේ කාඩ් එකක්. දෙන්නම තුන්දෙනාම එකට ඉඳලා after this so then interview විදිය හරියට නිසා they directed to the hill. Fired here. Fired here, but they are also leader. They are punishment according to his knowledge and according to the things they have done. They recommend this punishment within that period is supposed to get that experience, right? But the purpose is the result. Right. So then, firstly, doctor went to meet this what they call Namaraj Guru or something like that person. So then he got that as this punishment for next 5 years. Next 5 years with the difficult task and all, he has to be there and should get punishment, right? So then after that, he's assuming that so. In my lifetime, I did this much of service and I did a good profession, like very merits are there. So then as a doctor, I did this and that. Because of that, I got that a very lesser number of period to stay here, right? So that's the expectation he had. But then again, that's engineer went and he also got 5 years. He was not surprised that because the fair engineer, I did some bad, so then that's okay, right? So then chartered accountant went, he got only 2 years. Right? So then he was an engineer and the doctor was so very surprised why he's dealing with numbers, he's not that much human being, he did this and that, but he's still getting 2 years, right? Come on. What's the reason? One, to be a chartered accountant, he has already completed 3 years audit training. So then, expected that 3 years from so then, that's difficult. That's much difficult. Right. So, now we are learning about that type of subject. You need to attend that. You need to live with it. Otherwise, it's really difficult to learn. Right. Now we know audit and assurance is a kind of a same concept. Assurance is a wider concept. That's the basic understanding you should have. So this is the concept. It means audit. Assurance, right? This is the equation. So then we need to know what it is. as an element. Why we need an audit? As a reason to have audit in this sector, we need to know that. Without having that knowledge, you can't learn it, right? Why is that necessary? Is that a requirement to do audit? Why is that? Why we need audit? The reason to have audit, why we need to have audit? Get opinion. Yes. What? That's the outcome. That's the objective. For what? What's the reason we need that? Yes. Yes. Legal requirement. That's the one aspect. Requirement. Yes. Other than that, yes. Stakeholders to take decisions. Legal side is another stakeholder. To take decisions, we need this adjective. Can we take decisions from DF, draft financials? We need to remove this D and need to add A. We need to add this A to get decisions. Why? We need a strong trust over that. Audited financials to add this adjective is not that much easy. So we are in the process of issuing this, adding this adjective to the draft financial statement with a high value. So then we are supposed to use audited financial statement for our decisions. To stakeholders' decisions, yes. To legal decisions. It's really important to have audited numbers, audited financial statement. To give this service, we need to issue audit opinion. To add this adjective, we need to issue the audit opinion to the financial statement. To issue the audit opinion, as chartered accountants, we have to do audit procedures. Through audit procedures, we are gathering audit evidence. Audit evidence should address the audit, but audit risk. Audit risk is what? What do you mean by audit risk? Risk is what? Risk is not clear, but the risk is life. I'm having risk in your life. What do you mean by risk? Risk is not clear. For me, it's the deviation from the expectation. That's the risk. If you expect something, if you can't achieve that, that's a risk. So, in this degree, what's the risk you have? If you get under the so here we have a subject called audit and assurance. What the risk we have? Subject in the past. That's a risk, right? The deviation from the expectation is a risk. So from audit, we have expectation to have correct audit opinion. The probability of issuing an incorrect audit opinion is the audit risk. So then issuing a true and fair view at the point of having material misstatement in the financial statement is the audit risk. To address that audit risk, we have to gather sufficient and appropriate audit evidence through audit procedures. Sufficient and appropriate towards quantity and the quality. Sufficient and appropriate audit evidence should be gathered to address the audit risk. Can you reduce the audit risk to as 0? We can't reduce the audit risk to 0. If it is so, we can issue absolute opinion, right? Certificate. We are not going to issue certificate for anyone. We are issuing absolute opinion. We are not issuing absolute opinion, we are issuing assurance report. Right? So then we are reducing the risk to acceptable low level. Not we are not reducing that to 0. We can't do it. Why? We have limitations. We do audit procedure sample basis. Because of that, we can't reduce that to 0. Because of that, we are not issuing a certificate. We are only issuing assurance report or low level assurance report. We are saying it's true and fair we go. Nothing has come to our mind to say that it's representing the statements. So then, that's a main reason we need it's a requirement of audit to add that adjective. So you like to use audited numbers rather using non-audited numbers. To do that service, we need auditors. Audit කරන්න audit vendors. If you like to be the auditing, if you are correct, if you are had a good track record, you may be a person is willing to be audited. So then, whatever the outcome you have, whatever the results you have, if you can get audit from someone and get assurance and see that it's accurate, you have to be very happy. Why? Your results has been audited. It's clearly say that it's good and fair. So it's a genuine company, genuine person really like to be audited. So then you can have that skepticism, mentality after having this knowledge, right? Okay. Then that's about the topic. I hope that you are clear about audit and assurance topic. And then again, I'm emphasizing to have this assurance, we need to have tri-parties. Otherwise, we don't need the assurance. So that you are supposed to take a decision, and you are supposed to take a decision, something produced by someone. Based on that subject matter, you are supposed to take a decision. Only that point you need a audited assurance task. What I'm telling you. Tri-party arrangement. We need 3 parties. Parties do not think that another party is sure with me. Parties. So then, what we are doing on decision what buy it. You are taking decision for your own thing. What is they have to know? You are taking a decision, something from some outsider. So then you have a doubt to get that decision. Why? He may be, I don't know about him. He may has kind of a bad future, from bad to the bad history. So then the indications are not that good. My experience also not that good. So I'm very reluctant to make this decision on the subject matter. What do you have to do? We need some outsiders support. Imagine you are buying a vehicle. So then once you are buying a vehicle, one gidilla can order in front of the vehicle with Kodai vehicle. I'm going again. Oh, this is the best case again. So then what you have to do? You don't know the head and tail of the inside of a vehicle, right? So then what you have to do? So then you have to get some expert person support or some outside company test report or something like that. We need to get that support and get the decision done. So you are taking a decision some outside the subject matter with the support of a third party independent view. Right? If there's a kind of this type of a scenario in financial sector, the audit has shown is required. So then management is preparing financial statements and then they are producing it to the public. So then as stakeholders to trust upon that, we need to have some kind of a independent view. Why? The financial statements were prepared by the management and in parallelly the company was driven or the performances looked after by this management. The people who perform, who did the financials. So then if they want to show bogus picture, they want to show high performance, what you can do? You can present the financial statement. So for that, what you have to do? We want it. There's a requirement to have a service from independent auditor. So then that result should be audited by independent party and it's required to submit for decision making. That is the requirement. So then again, financial statements. Financial statement. Elements. Financial position, income statement. So this one consists with three areas, three items. Basically two. Financial statements. What are they? Account balances. Account balances and then disclosures. Disclosures. Basically, these two you can see from these financial statements. Are you agree with me? I'm discussing the content of the financial statement. Financial statement හැදිලා තියෙන්නේ මේ අමතර දාන්නවද? පොලයක් තියෙන පුළුවන් hard copy වල. පොලේ කරපු පොලේ numbers වලින් set of paragraphs තමයි තියෙන්නේ. Are you agree? Pole one dot audit. So then these two areas going to audit need to check. These two areas came because of what? Because of transactions. So as auditor, we have to focus about three things in a financial statement. What are they? Account balance, disclosures, and transactions. Because of transaction during the period, we have these disclosures and account balances. Without knowing the transaction, we can't audit numbers. We need to know the transaction. Keep in mind this. Without knowing the transaction, we can't audit. Mean what? Transaction like a done to audit current. It is again, yes, what it means to you. Without knowing the transaction, we can audit. So that we can do audit. So then we have account balance here, like electricity, 60,000. You don't know about the transaction. electricity 60,000. We saw the CEB, electricity bill for 12 months. 12 bills are there. We saw that the amount is totally tallying with the 60,000. I'm okay with that. Is that auditing? CEB outside company, government related company has given this we call that electricity bill. So after adding all the 12 months, adding it to 60,000. Are you satisfied as auditor? Are you okay? We can't do audit like that. Auditing is not cross-checking numbers with source documents, right? Auditing is a process more than that. We need to know the realistic picture of the transaction. The benefit of the transaction need to be validated with the numbers, right? So then, then 60,000 this year, 2023. It compared 2022, it was 45,000. So then you can see clearly 25% increase. 25% increase. So then you have given 12 invoices, CEP given. It's totally tallied with this. That is okay. But there's a variance of 25% from last year. And the production increase 10% of the organization. Production increase. Then again, 10% tariff rate increase. Electricity bill rates increase. Altogether, 20%. Then again 5% remaining. As auditor, you have to get that reason. You can't say that just there's an impact of this and that. It's reasonable. You have to get this 5%. So then after searching this 5%, you can understand that nearby the office, there's a director's house. Under the wall, there's a electric wire to this house, and they have taken electricity from the company from this year onward. That's a 5%. That's a 5% increase. If you want to see this, all the things covered, right? We can't see a wire, it's under the wall. So then you can't see from the financials, all the CP numbers are there, tallying with the financials, nothing, right? So then how you can search this? You need to know the rationale of the transaction. Otherwise, you can't see. This is about auditing. Right? Skepticism, right? Okay, I know you are very clear about auditing. So this is the learning objectives. End of the day, we have to achieve this, right? So then I'm not going to read now. I'll read this end of the lecture series one by one. One by one, each letters, right? Not each letter, each words. So those are important things. Will be assured. I am giving assurance to you, not a certificate. So I am trying to give you this update maximum way, right? So to give this update, you have 45 hours. 45 hours with this content. According to the syllabus, they have given weightage. We have given weightage for these three things. Audit and assurance is one subject, I think. For the better work allocation and the content wise, we have divided to 7 topics. But I like to teach you as a one go. You have to know audit as a one process. For the better presentation and the work allocation and the management purpose, we have 7 topics. Area 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, likewise, right? So there your post guideline, everything consistent with this content. Right? So then here we have given 2020 weightage, 60% weightage for what? To audit process. What is that? Audit process. Whatever the process you have the stages, planning, execution, and conclusion. You have to plan, you have to execute, you have to conclude. So the same process can be used for auditing assurance, right? So then these 3 tasks says about that. Audit planning and risk assessment. This is about planning. Planning. Audit evidence. Audit evidence means gathering audit evidence means performing audit procedures. It means execution. Audit reporting. It should be the audit report. Planning, execution, and conclusion. So then, whole syllabus, 60% we discuss about audit process. How we are going to plan audit, what's the conclusion, how we are going to issue audit opinion. So then, risk assessment, gathering audit evidence, and then audit report. For the other areas relates to this process. Nothing else. So then, assurance related other services. As I discussed previously, in audit firm we have other services as well, agreed upon procedure, and then summarization financial statement, compilation, different other procedures. We need to go through that aspect as well. And then the audit quality. We have to maintain the quality through this process. How we are going to enhance the quality. How we are going to maintain firm level quality, engagement level quality will be discussed under section 7, right? And then what else? Auditing in a digital environment. Is that required? Yes, it's a hot topic we need to discuss, right? So then we can't do hypothetical audit now. Now we are moving from sample-based auditing to portfolio-based auditing. We had sample-based auditing. With technology, we can now do portfolio-based auditing. How we can do that? Aling api sample එකෙන් 25 කරන්න correct. Now we are moving from that to here with the technology. Now we are moving with what? Data analytics. Now we can analyze the whole portfolio and we can identify what are the exceptional items. We can test that through analytics. We can identify what are the payment vouchers who have not approved. We can directly get that list within a second. And then we can check that. So that's move from sample-based auditing to portfolio-based auditing. with the technology, conceptually audit get advanced, right? So then it's really important to know how we can do audits in a digital environment. What are the things we need to focus in differently, right? So that aspect. And before that, we need to know the company control environment, corporate governance, and control framework. So the control protocols, control attributes, and control levels, we need to know. And then, what else? That's it. This is about the syllabus. Anything about anything you want to know additionally, you can ask. Within this syllabus, I'm planning to explain difficult accounting treatment like deferred tax, fair valuation, lease, financial instruments. All those things can be discussed, right? Whatever the accounting treatment, we can discuss. And then we need to know how we can audit that. Without having that knowledge, how we can audit deferred tax, how we can audit fair valuation, how we can use right of use asset, how we can do audit for property valuation, impairment, expected loss model, credit loss, how we can audit that. To audit that, we need to know the exact accounting treatment. Without knowing right of use asset calculation, how we can evaluate right of use asset deferred tax calculation. You need to know the background and the every aspect. So then we are having much time here for this course because the syllabus is not that much lengthy. So with that comfort, definitely we can discuss this accounting treatments as well. But I like to you having corporate reporting in third year, right? Next year, have you done corporate reporting yet? No. So I like to do this advanced audit and assurance after corporate reporting, but in the syllabus we are here now. But in future you may do corporate reporting. Once you are doing that, you should know how we can audit consolidation, how we can audit goodwill calculation, NCI calculation, transaction with NCI, associate disposal, step acquisition, each and everything. Once you are doing as accountant, you need to know how this can be audited based on this knowledge. Right? End of the day, you may be the kind of a senior in charge, but the finalization of console accounts. Right? So then calculation of goodwill, everything will be audited. You should know what are the requirements, what are the steps they will follow. So you have to prepare. So after requesting their as auditor, if you are trying to prepare for that, not that much effective. You need to prepare for audit. What happened when they audit in the ready line or ready line. You know, are you thinking order? Or policy now not the full check around. Or I didn't know. House again. Party down on 18 minutes check. First again, visiting card is set. Card to the they don't check. But why they are certain like that? Then, down to check. So then that's okay. You have to support them. But you have to be ready for audit anytime. Then you need to identify what are the points you will be audited, right? Is angle or audit taken the regularly ready නැත්නම් මොකක් සර්ප්‍රයිස් වෙනවනම් ඔඩිට් එකෙන් සර්ප්‍රයිස් එකම මොකක් නැතිවල යනවා. පොලිසිය දැවතු ගමන් බය වෙලා දාඩිය දාලා නෙවුණු ගමන් ඒ ටික චෙක් කරන්නේ පොලිස් ස්ටේෂන් එකට එක්කන් ගිහින්. Then you have to be ready for audit and assurance. Right. So here we have reading materials. You can go through these things. Accounting standards, auditing standards, and then accounting standard for SME, AFRS 6 recommended practices. So those things can be go through. Code of best practice, corporate governance. So these are source documents you can read through. Further, you can go through this slide deck. I will share with you all the slides. And whatever the reading materials, other than this SCCA, chartered or SIMA, or whatever the degree, you can differ. So auditing is same, right? There's no difference. YouTube, whatever the courses, you can read through. After getting basic knowledge, you can start your learning journey. So then here I am giving kind of just a guidance to start your journey. Make a little audit the basic stuff will be discussed in the lecture. Doubts. Ask paper structure marks. So then you can create a group for the batch 17 exemption. I can share some papers with you all. I have many papers on international. Very practical papers are there. Here are some of the questions are there. Not that good papers here. Then I will share the virtual one. So then the paper is consisted with case study type questions. The first half, paper structure, normally 60% for the final paper, 40% for continuous assessment, right? 40%. This 60%, very crucial. First question is 60% given from 100 marks. First question 20 marks. Consisted with 10 small questions. Any small questions which cover all the syllabus. Like this. Like this. I assume that that's really difficult to address these 10 questions because it covers the whole syllabus. Very small things will be tested. Giving direct answer for this 10 question to earn 20 marks may be the toughest task. You should be very active with the lectures. You should go in detail about the syllabus. Then only you can pick the requirement from the examiner. Audit is a very different subject. So there is once you are doing your exam, you need to read at least 2-3 times the question, because if examiner asking something, but you may know many things about that. But examiner asking one thing, so then you need to give that. Otherwise, if you are putting all the stuff around that, examiner need to do another exam to find the exam. So the answer that is not required, right? So that you need to carefully go through the exam paper, and then you need to ready for the exam very professional manner. So then you need to do practice writing. That is the uniqueness. So I will share my experience. Actually, I did advanced auditing subject CA once I was the assistant manager in Big Four, right? So then as assistant manager, I have done many audits. So then I'm CA in charge, and I did some presentation to the audit committee, and with many experience, right? So the unlike the king of auditing with the paper, right? And then parallelly, so that after being an assistant manager, other my colleagues resigned from the audit firm. So then they are thinking like, still I am in the audit firm, I am the audit expert, and I did copy and all. So then I am the lecturer for them as well, right? So then I did the exam. So I got only 32 marks. My colleagues, all 90% colleagues passed. 32 marks with 2 booklets. I completed 2 booklets within 3 hours. So I got extra booklet and wrote it and completed that as well. 2 booklets for the audit and assurance paper, only 30 to 31 marks. Right? So then parallelly after results coming, so after getting the results, so after 2 days time I had a AGM Royal Palm Tangerine. So then I was able to go with Mr. Galle, the former president in Srilanka. So he was a partner. So then I went him with the AGM. So then I have the distance from Colombo to Kalutara. So I had a chat his first question. So then he got the audit marks yesterday, right? So then how about the exam? So the response is, sir, I got only 31 marks. See? So assistant manager, no? So what they are doing? So that you don't have that, you can't understand what they are investing. You are putting all the things you know to the exam paper. That's happened. You all know need to do practice and all. So then you need to know the art of writing papers. That's the message he got. He stuck to me. Read the paper and examiner asking only small thing. Don't try to put whatever things you know about that area to the question. Then with that small thing, I capitalized on that and I did keep practice on that. And next time I didn't do much. I do practice right? Small things, summarization. Then again I did good marks and only got 1 booklet. I saved 1 page as well. Right? See, that type of subject is there to write. The writing is very important. I'm not looking at the half of the page. A and similar literature. Page එකක් ලියවම එහෙම බලන්නේ. So that I will give 15 marks for 2 sentences. I need the content and the sharp answer is the matter. I'm not requesting lengthy answers. What a balance company. Have I said a balance? I want that exact knowledge point. So then writing the exam may be an art. You have to practice that. Other thing is you need to use the auditing language to the paper. Can't use general English language can't be used. General words can't be used for the auditing subject. You need to use audit buzzword jargon in the audit subject. You have to say material statements, right? So the acceptable low level, sufficient appropriate audit evidence. So those words should be practiced. You can say adequate audit, resource, adequate audit supporting. Different words can be used. So the once we are going through the answers, we know that he's not not using a audit language. We have to answer to the audit lecture by using the audit language. That's really important. The words, phrases we are discussing in the classroom. You have to practice that. So, audit experience may be a plus or maybe a minus. Experience වැඩි කට්ටියට අඩුම results තියෙනවා. History එකේ price winners ලා කවුරුත් audit experience තියෙන කට්ටිය නෙවෙයි. CS and SIMA ASCC. So then it's not relevant. If you have that, you can challenge and you can discuss and that's really good. Past papers, yes, you have to go through content and same type of question may be repeated. So then you have to go through that, you have to practice. Not, the going through the past papers, you have to at least practice. Writing is important because you have to face for writing exam. I know that you are dealing with mobile phones and mobile devices. For me, it's really difficult to write now. I'm writing exam and so then my handwriting may be very bad now. Now it's too bad. Because it's very rare writing, right? So then you practice writing, face the exam. Other papers optional. Self-study is a must. Do self-study about the subject. So it's creating independence to you, creating knowledge and do research and getting knowledge and compare with the lecture, argue with the lecture, create some good knowledge points. This what ප්‍රශ්නයක් අහුවම මොනවාරි ඒ ඉන්සිඩන්ට් එක පැත්තේ එක්සෑම් වලට ටෙස්ට් කරනවා. එක්සෑම් එකේ ප්‍රශ්න දැක්කම මතක් වෙනවා මේක සර්ගේ කරුවනේ නේද කියලා. So then create incidents in your lecture journey. Right? That creating value to you. So that's about doubts relating to the subject. I hope this is not too much difficult. This is the structure. This case study 80%. We have one compulsory question, is a lengthy case study, and another there may be 3 or 4 questions. 3 or 4 questions, maybe 3 questions. This 3 is 1, again 1. All questions, all 5 questions. First one, I have shared with you all 20 marks. Right? This question, 30 marks. This 3 question, take into 3. Then, altogether, 100 marks. This is the plan. Now you are visualizing the plan, right? So then you have the strategy. You can have a good plan. What is strategy or the plan, right? And I'm very 80. 100 bedroom, right? Now here they not 10 then. Here, sorry. Here again 20. This is the So that was changed recently because staff requested to reduce number of questions. So the first question 26, I will examine. Here 26. 26 marks given for this question, and each 3 question 18 into 3. 18 into 3. Before plus 26 plus 20. So then previously I wanted to do this 4 questions. So then 4, 5, 6, altogether 6 questions. So then that requested this is not that good. So then best paper settings approach and the psychologically this may be impacted the people and pupils, right? So then this was to reduce to 5. So what I did was each and every this small 4 questions had 2 questions, small 2 questions. I increased to 3 questions. Small 3 questions and reduce 1 question. Understood what I'm telling? Here now you have this question. This question will have 3 points. Right? Question will have 3 points. 1.6 marks. 18 marks, right? Yes. And I'll share those papers with you all. Then this type of questions will be tested. Very practical questions. Whatever the practical scenario I will put to the paper. So your manager working for NM Association for Chartered Accountants. We have been requested to handle the audit of O-positive PLC for the year ending March 31st, 2023. O-positive is the country's leading private hospital with 3 outstation branches. The management has decided to revise the prices of services because of the increase of drugs, tools, and electricity. O-positive has terminated the agreement with 6 main surgeons because of their migration plans. So then all the live case studies in Srilanka. So identify key focus area, audit planning activities for the year ending 31st March 2024. Identify key focus areas about that case study. So then you have to visualize a hospital. So main surgeons are getting the offers for the migration plans. So then what are the key focus area as auditor? So that type of advanced auditing skills I am expecting, not a parrot like reading things and putting that to the paper. That can be done for the first question, right? So then all the people can contribute, or the people can get marks, but the people who are reading and putting that to the paper can go on. And you can learn the subject, visualize, and give 100% to answer this question. Mama හිතගෙන විදියට මම හිතලා තියෙනවා කොහොමද? Auditor's judgment, right? So then, correct, right? So then, as auditor, I have kind of a presumption. So I am not fully stick with the paper. For that paper answer, right? Solution. So then, model paper was the answer booklet. But yeah, come up with the kind of a creative answer, so I will add that to the answer. So that's okay. But I am expecting some quality and audit sense. Those aspects should be there. So then, actually, you need to practice that here. otherwise it's really difficult. So actually, average pass mark, average is 40, 60 marks are there, average. Some people, so the previously had 96, 95, so those marks are there. The exemption batch, I completed 6 months ago. That was like 75, like 60, 70 average. So most of the actually more than 60% had a pass. So then I expect that that quality and professionalism from an exemption batch. The same expectation remains same for you all, right? But then I hope that positiveness. That's about this. And then individual report and group report. So then Eva, owner, the father, yes, we have to do that. Why? More than this paper, we have to do this. Why? Group presentation, group report. We ask about it. We ask the head. How do you like? Have different religions. As organization, can you do that? As a leader, if you want to be a CFO, if you want to be a CEO, what you have to practice? You may be the perfect person, you may be the batch top, you may be the first class, but you have a good quality, you have good professionalism, you are really good, competent, but you have a capacity, you have a limitation, you have only 20.7 physics, right? You have only two hands, one is right, one is left, but different approaches, different, you can't get benefit, same benefit from two hands, right? You are a right hand person or left hand person, you are working with 150%, right? So then you have very limited resources to deliver that quality, right? So then if you want to go, if you want to climb your ladder to some extent on if you want to exceed some point, you need to provide more than that quality, more than kind of a service. So then how we are going to do that? So the same quality, whatever the quality you have, you need to have ability to get things done in same quality from others. That's called leadership. To be a CFO, be a CEO, you need to have that passion, work with group members and get the same outcome. It's really difficult, right? Managing people, managing knowledge of people is much difficult. So be careful and so the gather people and get things done is really difficult. So then we need to evaluate that. We need to emphasize. We need to practice that habit, that skill. That's not that much easy. අද කතා කරන්න බෑ. සමහර ඉන්නවා ටීම් එකේ කාගෙන්වත් අහන්න නැහැ. ටීම් එකටම හරියට report එක කරලා දාන්න. That would no way. So if it is so, we need people, we need to get contribution from others. And we need to communicate first what's your requirement and get the things for your quality and accumulating. Because you are busy, right? You don't have much time to spend for this report. Allocate work, communicate properly, get the things done, follow up, deadlines. You need to practice that. Come on. Otherwise, I'm not worried about the final outcome. You can hire it out and get the things done. Assignment කරන්න ඕන වගේ ඉන්නවා. ඔයාලා ජොබ් කරනවා එක්ස්ටෙන්ෂන් බැච් සල්ලි දෙන්න කරන්න පුළුවන්. කරපු ගමන් දානවා කරලා කියලා එළියේ. එතකොට දැන් මොකතරම් ඔඩිටර් කෙනෙක් එක්ක ඩීල් කරන්නේ නේ. අනික යාපුයි තමයි වැඩ කරන්න ඕන. ප්‍රසන්ටේෂන් කරන්න එනකොටම කරන්නේ ප්‍රසන්ටේෂන් ස්පීක් කරලා ඉවරයි. So then not like others. So then all the behind the picture, all the activities will be scanned and presented to him. So then do those things. Then දැනගෙන නොදන්නවා වගේ ඉන්න මාර අමාරු. පොඩි දෙයක්. දෙන්න ඕන දුවන්න. එතකොට ඒ uncomfortable කරන්න එපා. හරිද? So then be genuine. If you have any doubts, sir, make kalla denna kiyanna epa. All of them before the assignments, you can talk, you can ask, you can clarify, sir, is that a good way to do this? My approach is that correct? So this is the content. You can talk to the your lecturer. He's available to guide you, right? He's not available to cheat. It's not available to be cheated, right? So then he's not ready to be cheated, right? So then you have to be very professional once you are doing it. These assignments, group assignments, especially. And the thing is, I don't want that PowerPoint presentation, and it should be zero PowerPoint-less presentation. You have to present to the audience without a PowerPoint slide, because PowerPoint is not a presentation. It's a tool we can use as a supporting tool. Do you think that presentation is purely 100% PowerPoint? Oh, that's wrong. Presentation, how you present to the audience. Without presentation, you have to present yourself, the audience. That's my expectation. So that's all about our journey within another 3 months, 45 hours. So any doubts, any questions? Right. Right. People who are joining virtually, how many are there? 4. So then, if you have any doubts, ask from me. So then, we'll create a WhatsApp group. So then, through that, also you can clarify things. And if you have any doubts or questions, you can raise, or whatever the area you are representing, whatever the country you are representing, you can reach out to me. And in your business, your job. If you are any doubt or clarifications, you all can raise out. So that's okay. Then, whatever the question I have answered. So about taxation, finance, auditing, accounting, costing. That's about I can't say that knowledge I have. So that's the professionalism you need to develop as a professional accountant. Chartered accountant as a degree holder from that campus. So then we are responsible for our professional knowledge. Right? ඒ area එකෙන් මොනවා අහුවත් ඔයාලට බොරුවක් නැහැ කියන්න පුළුවන්. බොරුවක් කියලා බේරෙන්න නෙමෙයි. ඒ situation එක manage කරන්න ඕන බොරුවක් කියලා නෙමෙයි. ඒකේ so then at least actually we have this and that. So according to this we can do this. So definitely I will come back to you. So these are the references you need to do. Definitely I will give you a call and I will update you. At least you need to give that this attitude to that profession. So after getting this degree, you have to have that caliber. And so then only you are kind of available person to your colleagues and your business to approach you. People reach out to you and ask, so what's the tax treatment, what's the income tax impact, how we can do this, that and that. You are available, right? Okay. But what I am now, that's the way. So this is the best country you can live if you are working. You වැඩ කරන්න තියෙනවද? ඔව් ඇලි වෙනකම් වැඩ කරන්න තියෙනවා. ඇයි රීසන් එක? අත්ති වැඩ කරන්නේ තේරම කාටියෙන්නේ හිතන් හිතන් කන්න බෑ. එහෙම ඉන්න රටක කොච්චර වැඩ තියෙද? ඒ කියන්නේ පැය දෙකක් විතර තමයි දාන්නේ. දෙන්න වැඩ තියෙනවා. ඊයේ රෑ 3ට තමයි දාන්නේ. 9:59 වෙනකම් Audit committee battery is finalized. හැමදාම ඉච්චට වැඩ තියෙනවා. දැනුත් වැඩ ලිස්ට් එකක් තියෙනවා. වැඩ ලිස්ට් එකට දවස් ෆිනිෂ් කරන්න දෙකට 10ක් ඇඩ් වෙනවා. ඉච්චට වැඩ තියෙනවා. Are you satisfied? Yes. I can go abroad. How can I go abroad? But what is that? After qualifying, after getting knowledge and things, you are skillful. I'm not telling that I'm skillful and I have knowledge and everything and can answer every question. Recently, but I have resources. My friends are there, here and there. I can talk to them and I can give them. Share that experience and knowledge. That's what I'm getting, right? So then expand your close circle and be knowledgeable and you can do something different. Right? You do that. Okay. So then we can start area 1. I hope that you don't want this break. So if you want, take a 5 minutes and take a breathe and take some water. For the people who are joining virtually, you can have your evening tea or something like that. So then you can rejoin in the lecture. You can imagine now itself we starting the lecture. See that? Experience then we can discuss all those things. Right. First topic, we are moving to control environment and governance control framework. Governance and internal control framework. Governance and internal control framework. First, I need to link topic with the audit and assurance subject. Otherwise, we are thinking like we are moving out from the subject. But governance and internal control framework. Governance means governance, right? Before last presidential election, we got for presidential election to have the governance, right? That's all about the governance. What it means to you? That's that 24. This slide, audit maturity. They have maturity level, numbers, maturity levels. This is like audit maturity levels. If you have, let's say, scope 20,000, right? 20,000 scope. And then 50,000 scope. 50,000 is the maturity level. 20,000 is the maturity level. But sorry, you have to do more. 20,000 audit, right? Less than, more than, sorry, if it is 20,000, there's more than 20,000, each and every item should be tested, key items. If it is 50,000, only have to take only more than 50,000 items. Less than 50,000, you don't take. And by the AC report. Mount එක අඩු වෙන්න පූල් එක වැඩි වෙනවා. amount එක maturity level අඩු වෙන්න ඔයා කරන්න ඕන වැඩ ඔයා කරන්න ඕන audit procedures වැඩි වෙනවා. ඇයි? ඔයාගේ scope material levels අඩු වෙන්නේ. You need to focus more. Let's say your material level 0. Are they audit like that? No. Material level 0 means you are going to issue a certificate. You don't have like that. You have material levels in audit, right? Right. That's something else we will discuss within another 3-4 lectures time. So we are here with governance and internal control framework. Governance and internal control. Governance. Governance is the kind of a direction we are having to achieve a goal with set of controls. That's goal governance, right? So then that consistency of the controls to achieve the objective. Within that standard and protocols driving towards targets is the governance. Lack of governance, there's a classic example. That we are set of, we have full of resources. We can say that we are having excess resources. compared to other countries. Come on, we 365 into 24. Every day we can work, right? අපි දවසේ වැඩ දවස් තුනකට කරගෙන බලාගෙන බැන ක්‍රිටිසයිස් කරගෙන දැන් සබ්ජෙක්ට් එක බලන්න සෙට් එක රිසල්ට් එක පටන් ගන්න. මුලින්ම ඉතින් වටේ ඉස්සෙල්ලා බලන්න. පස්සේ තමන් ඉගෙන ගන්න දැනට ක්‍රිටිසයිස් කරනවා. ඊට පස්සේ ડોක්ටර් ක්‍රිටිසයිස් කරනවා. ડોක්ටර් යන දවසේ ડોක්ටර් ටෙස්ට් කරන්නේ. පොස්ට් බැලන්නේ. තකාලා කියනවා වගේ තමයි ඉස්සෙල්ලා. ඒක හරියන්නේ නැහැ. වත් යෝගල් කරන්න ඕන තමන්ගේ වැඩ. It's my comment. I need to contribute. This is my comment. Don't get that as a kind of a personal stuff, personal benefit. That's my comment. I need to work. I give that contribution. Don't criticize, right? So then think positively. Take as a kind of a challenge, whatever the difficult situation. And get rid of that. So then over there, easily you can do things, you can change things. Only thing is you need to be very positive and need to be very quick, fast. And other thing is quality can't be quality can't be sacrificed for efficiency. That's a basic. Quality and the efficiency should be achieved in one go. You can't say that because of efficiency, I reduce some quality. Anyway, quality should be there with the efficiency. That should be number one to achieve a good deadline එක ළඟ නිසා audit එක හරියට කරගන්න බැරි වුණා. අවුරුදු 5ක් හම්බෙන්නේ audit එක කරන්න. We have a limited time to complete audit. We have to deliver a quality audit within the deadline. Right? So whatever the task. So as a Sri Lankan, as South Asian people, yeah, not that. Attitude-wise, we have not developed. I'm not thinking. I'm still learning. I'm learning with people. I'm studying this because of auditing. I'm meeting different people, different levels. I'm dealing with foreigners and multinational company. Many good people are there. So then it's really cool to talk with the person from developed country. That developing sense coming from not their tools and weapons and the vehicles they are using, the attitudes and the way they are talking, the way they are treating is a different experience. So then that is the lacking point we have. We always think about negative things and criticizing and putting everything to our bucket. We don't know who we are, what we want, what's our happiness. We are going beyond something else. So then one of my senior lecturer, so he's one of our senior lecturers at campus as well. I met him last year, yes, because of this that organized kind of a lecture called lecturers gathering and the kind of a workshop actually, like a seminar type of thing. And they explain all syllabus and it's a very good syllabus we have. So it was developed after many research in this flight accounting curriculum. So that's really good. So then at that point I met Professor Kennedy, about him. can search from Google. He has completed many research. So he has some experience with him, not directly with me. Some of my colleagues are there. So then once we are discussing, he told that, so as South Asian people, we are very, complex, and we are putting everything to one aspect, and mixing that we are not focused, we are not specialized, we are not customized. He's extracting some experience with him. He went to, he's a professor. He went to a kind of to get that PhD. He went to a kind of a workshop, USA or UK, right? So then at that workshop, there were another 60, 75 heads. So they had that workshop in that caliber, right? The professor level, PhD level. So then they were asked to draw a picture of a beach. So they were given a kind of pencil and an empty paper, A4 paper. So then they were asked to draw kind of a small picture about the beach. Right? People think so peaceful task, right? So the South here that the crowd is consistent with different countries from South Asia, UK, USA, Australia. All the people are there, Europe, different people. So then South Asian sector එක තැනම වාඩි වෙලා ඉන්නවා. Indian, Pakistan, Sri Lankan sector එක තැන set වෙලා වාඩි වෙලා ඉන්නවා. USA independently තැනක වාඩි වෙනවා. comfortable වෙනවා. AC on නම් AC බැලලා දින තැන නැත්නම් AC එකේ යට හරි පොඩ එක. UK එක independently වාඩි වෙනවා. ඒකත් notice කරනවා. Then the task එක දුන්නා. So they were given 30 minutes to draw a picture. And then මුලින්ම අපේ South Asian set එක පාලනය කරලා then ඉන්දියන් එක දාගෙන අපි නෝනේ ඉතින් රට වටේ තියෙන දැන් බීච් එක ඇදලා අnder බායෙන් වලද ඉර බහින ඔබේ පැත්තෙන් උරුල්ල යනවා නැව වෙනවා ඔරු යනවා නේද මාළු බාන පස්සේ yes හත් තියෙනවා අර උඩ අරන් ගහලා different foreigners like now. So they all in one, right? So then sir udanu la mutanino sir udanne da sir and then new part of that sudu part of that mix කරලා තියෙනවා. down south beach එක නිදාගන්න එක mix කරලා හදලා තියෙනවා, right? So then 30 minutes මදිලු බෑග් එකේ අතර ඉවර කරන්න. Like I did my audit phase. Right? තව පොලයක් කරනවා දෙන්න ඉතල ඉතුරු කෑල්ල මෙහෙම අදවලා ඉතුරු පැත්තට යනවා. දැන් මේ භාගයයි ගන්නේ. UK USA done 30 minutes produce at 5 minutes ඇදලා තියලා ඉවරයි. දැන් කට්ටිය බලන්න ඕනේ මොනවද ඇදලා තියෙන්නේ. USA එක ඇදලා තියෙන්නේ himself that person එයා beach එකේ sunbath කරනවා තමයි ඇදලා තියෙන්නේ. Sunbath කරනවා sunglass and then he's laying on the beach and some water is around. That's it. Full picture. He's in the full picture, right? USA can't do that. USA hari UK hari ga mix කරලා එපා. එතන දෙන්නේ එයාටයි වයිෆ් beach එකේ ඇවිදගෙන යනවා. වයිෆ් බිම බලන යනවා එයා තමයි. එයාගේ වයිෆ් ඉතින් එයාගේ beach එකේ. අපේ beach එකේ මොනවද ඉන්නේ? We are not in our picture. All the things are there. All the garbage, everything, others doing everything in our picture, but we are not in our picture. We have not given any single percentage of happiness to us in our picture. So we need to question from us, actually, are we in our picture? So draw your picture. So you fire to you first. your requirement and make sure once you are drawing your picture, give priority to you and give more chance to achieve your targets, not others' targets. Right? What do you want to be? Can I do it? Can I do it in Sri Lanka? If it is so, why did it need to get a big burden? Right? What do you want to see? Ask that. Right towards that. Don't be complex. Life is too temporary and very short, very limited like a A4 sheet. You have only 30 minutes. Because of that, you fire to make happiness. You can every day do things for your happiness. Don't sacrifice today happiness for future betterment. Right? Today you have to be very happy. And next day, that's okay. If you are sacrificing today for future happiness, that's a utter waste. Right? That's the basic concept. So I hope you got a message from that. So then let's develop, right? That's why I'm sharing that experience and in a monkey Katana maybe. Sir, Srilanka sir Mata sir. Sir, I'm give sir. He was not a sir. He's a good professor. Yes. He's very living professor. You have to be a professor. Actually, realistically, you have to be a professor. Living professor means to you that, right? Professor, he has to be sustainable professor. So the being chartered accountant is maybe easy, but if you want to be a sustainable living chartered accountant, maybe very difficult. So the chartered accountant are happy. They're happy. And the great customer analysis. Then go in there. Rather than the end, I have nothing to say 100 over you have experience. If I am dealing with a small class like other batch, I'm telling that this is the last option you have to enjoy your, student age. Dummy situations. Dummy situation means you are now dealing with dummy questions, right? So the predetermined, developed case studies, maybe based on real studies, case studies, but develop things, right? You are giving answers for dummy questions. But after getting this qualification, you are dealing with real stories. You can't give excuses, right? Tomorrow board committee happening, you can't give excuses. So then getting delayed and the connectivity issues, don't give excuses, right? You have to be there. You have to deliver. That should be delivered in the required quality within the timeline. There's no excuses for that. Ready for that, right? Don't ready to give any excuses for your life. Because it's not others not willing to accept your excuses every day. First time, second time, maybe okay. Third time, that's a thing. Anyone? They go under the parents letter, the relations letter, the spouse the same. Don't give excuses. You have to be delivered. Whatever the things, with quality, efficiency. Right. To do that, what we have to have? We have to have good governance and then control framework. Without that, you can't deal. Because we are dealing with many risks. We don't have extra resources. We have limited resources. We have to control that. We have a huge competition to achieve that goal. Because of that, we should have a proper control environment in the organization. After having that, we can continue the organization to achieve that goal. It's called governance. Right. That's about the topic. And now about how we can relate to the organizational subject. Right? Okay. As we discussed, as an auditor, we need to look at three things in financial statement. What are they? Account balances, disclosures, and transactions. Right? Account balances, disclosures, and transactions. To study the transactions. Study the transactions, you should know the transaction process. Transaction process in the sense. Initiation, and then processing, reporting, and creating audit, right? So that's the transaction process. That transaction process should be understand and evaluate. That process consisted with what? Controls. That process consisted with controls. So the transaction process consisted with controls. You should know this control process. In the control, we have three stages. What are they? Control, design, and then control implementation. Then control operation. Design, implementation, and operation. Right? As a control, we have these three stages, right? So as auditor, we have to test these two. It's a must. Design and implementation effectiveness of the controls related to financial statement, right? And then operational effectiveness in control, optional to test. Optional. So then say that optional and put a comma. You don't know why. I'm not going to explain now it. So then here what we are discussing, here as a control, we have three stages: design, implementation, and operation. Right? As the auditor, we have to test design and implementation, but operation is optional to test. It's up to you to decide as auditor according to your audit strategy. This is optional. We'll discuss later. Because of that, putting a comma, right? Why right? So then now let's study what? What's the control? What's the control implementation? What's the control design? What's the control operation? So we are going to the lesson. What's the control? What do you mean by control? Give me answer. What's the control? Control example. Financial control. The large control, the entity level control. What the change? Inventory verification from everyone. The kind of a detective control. Right? And it's I controls here owner. Controls. To address the risk, we are creating controls. We are putting controls. How we to put controls to reduce the risk to zero, as we say? Correct. 5. Risk and return. If you have high risk, if you are taking high risk, you can earn more. But if that risk acceptation should be less than your risk appetite. You need to understand what's the risk you can bear. Right? Up until that, you don't need to put controls. Beyond that, you have to put controls. Again, Patani business Patagan. What will be the CFO? When you are getting a CFO after 5 years, so then now expanded. So then I don't have capacity to do everything. So then now I can accommodate a CFO now. I can put a control. I want to put a control now. So up until that, within my control, I can pay out for them. Control is what? To mitigate the risk, we are putting a control. Risk means expectation from the deviation. Expectation from the deviation, we are putting a control. If we can identify that, we can put a control. Example, what doubt එකක් කියනවනේ උදේට නැගිට ගන්න බැරි වෙයි කියලා. What's the control you are putting in? Alarm, right? Simple. What's the expectation gap? Gap එක මොකද්ද? වාට නැගිට ගන්න බැරි වෙයි කියන doubt එක mitigate කරන්න we are putting alarm more than one time, right? More than twice at least. Alarm එක තියලා so later the preventive controls. One parakku වෙලා alarm එකක් දැදලා තේරුම් ඉඳලා detecting your කරන්නේ. So that's a classic example for control, right? So you are having a set of control. Because of that, you are representing extension by that you are reading for degree. Because of that, your life you are having set of controls. You have gone through set of controls. Because of that, you are here. So be happy about that. So as a result of set of controls, as a result of set of internal controls, in other terms, as a result of good family, we can look at that. A family good governance, good control framework. So that is going to treat control. So their son and daughters, kids are very good. And so they are good family. If you are representing a good family, definitely you came across a set of good internal controls. It was designed by and implemented by your parents. Designed and implemented. Designed and implemented. What it means to you? Firstly, we have to design the control. After identifying the risk, you need to decide who, how, what, when. We need to classify that. We need to answer that questions. Who, how, what, when. Then we need to decide control attributes. And designing control attributes called as designing a control. Designing a control attributes called as designing a control. So that's a responsibility of management. Designing the control. some of the controls already designed, not implemented. We need to implement. We need to, provide resources and, gather all the things, and we need to make it happen. And some of the control design, implement, carry on like 2 months, other 10 months we are not doing. So whatever the implemented controls should be operated during the period. Otherwise, no point to implement. අපි ගොඩක් දේවල් implement කරන්නේ. ගොඩාක් plan කරපුවා දිනව පටන් ගත්තේ නැති ඒක. ඊළඟට ඒක තියෙන set එකක් තියෙනවා. plan කරලා ලොකුවට පටන් ගන්න නවත්තපුවා set එකක් තියෙනවා. එහෙම දෙයක් කරන්න ඕන කොහොමද? හොඳට plan කරන්න. ලොකුවට පටන් ගන්න. ලොකුවට කරන එක තමයි හොඳම වැඩේ. So there is a control like same. Whatever the design should be implemented, should be operated properly. Right? So as auditor, we need to check design and implementation of the control. It's a must. The operating effectiveness is a optional thing. I hope design, implementation, and operation is clear. If not, I will give some other example. So if it is a branch network, like Sampath Bank or commercial bank or likewise, so in the branch, definitely they are using bulk of cash, right, daily. So they are keeping high secured safe in a branch. So to open that branch, they have to maintain 2 keys. Dual control should be there. 2 executives should use 2 keys to open the safe. So that one can come and get out all bulk of money. So that is a control, right? It's a control. So then you can ask that question: design. Who, how, what, when? Who? 2 executives. How? By using dual keys. When? At the point of opening the branch. What? They have to open this thing and get out the cash and record in the record book. So that's the control design. Implemented. Yes, we have a safe එකක් නැත්නම් branch එකේ මේක decide කරලා තියෙන වැඩක් තියෙද? No, design that. We need to have the accommodated, the dual control, the safe with the dual control keys, right? So we have invested and we bought a kind of a good safe with dual keys, and we have 3 executives, not 2 executives. So if someone getting the absent, so that we have 2 executives, and we implemented that. Now we designed, now we implemented. Then, so after 3 months drive, at the point of testing, branch visit or something like that, we noted that so the key. So the one executive keep in 2 keys and open. He's coming to the branch early morning, and by using 2 keys, he opened this thing and getting the cash out and put into the lockers. So is that control is happening? Correct? No point. So then design correct, implement correct, and not operating. Are you okay? In an ATM machine, there's a control, right? ATM machine is a set of controls. Millions of controls are there. Some of the machine they are asking, do you want that change cash? So you can select nodes as well. Anything they are gives that facility. That's control. So they are innovating. They are giving some other control reason, right? Now that machine giving the card person, then sending the money. So then you can study that, right? Why that with that? Firstly, they introduce ATM machines. Why? To reduce physical location and reduce physical queues to the branches. Reduce the managing a branch large location is very expensive. So the keeping the small ATM machines very flexible. So that's very effective, right? So number of transactions and everything very effective. So then we established, and firstly what we have to do, we put the card and giving that PIN numbers and all, we are getting cash, and then we need to collect the card and go. What happened was people are getting cash and keep it. We are not ready to get the card again. We can't stay there. We can't concentrate at that much. But they are doing. Yes, and the other card yeah. It was the bank. Banks සල්ලි ගන්න පොලි බඩුනාට කාඩ් සල්පේ ගන්න පොලි වැඩි වෙනවා. මොකද මිනිස්සුන්ට හදිස්සියෙන් අම්මා කියනවා සල්ලි එන්න කාඩ් එකේ එන්න කලින් ගිහිල්ලා. සල්ලි අරගෙන ඉච්චෙට සල්ලි වලට that is the greediness or something like that. So then they are not concentrated about to keep that card, right? So then what they have to do? So then they wanted to. So then there's an issue with this design, control design, right? So they wanted to redesign this control, but they came with an innovation. Now they are giving card first. Moving card again. Card again. Photo button. I'm a salary. Where is the last that night? Button. And Palmo Tangal salary. Don't put a key. Now we have implemented a control. We redesigned the control. Now it's reduced. Now we can say that. So that we have issued the card before the cash. So then we have collected funds. So then control redesign. The who, how, what, when. So they have given answer to when question. When you should return the card? Before cash. Right? So then they did this control. So then they have implemented, now it's a thing. That's what risk mitigated by using controllers. Control should be designed, implemented, and operated. I hope clear. Now, what are example then? What them බලන්න ATM එකේ දැන් පොඩි ටෙක්නික්ස් විදියට ට්වීට් කරන්න ATM එක ගිහිල්ලා රැස් තියාගෙන ඉන්නකට වඩා you have to be a හැමදේම පොඩි වලින් ට්වීට් කරන්න. හැමදේම accountant කෙනෙක් විදියට බලන්න. ඒක වෙනස්. ඒක තව pro version එක තමයි ඔඩිට කෙනෙක් විදියට බලන්න. හැමදේම. So you can learn that. They are pleased. Counting the data again. Laugh at that, we didn't make it laugh at the study the taking laugh, taking the bottom line, here the top line, here the margin, here the chain. Cannot have an audio way. People you are in a different field. But if you can add that audit aspect to that, audit will end in numbers. So then you can take good decisions. What a key is again? Done the one will have the delivery. Yeah, the bar and 100 can put delivery. So you can audit, right? So then, we can enjoy the life. It can people now want something. Then carrying that dance of the Karamic. There are the things can make a very so then you can experience something once you're going to a government entity or something like that. So then I'm not criticizing them. They away from technology, I don't know, power. So then honestly, we are maintaining the government servant and all. I'm not criticizing that, but their perspective, personally, they are not enjoying their life. I don't know why. it's a headache to the country as a whole. But there are good people, good governors, and some of the people are want to change that behavior. I respect them, but majority is a headache. So the inefficiency is this: to get it done, one documents are they are passing to 1,000 people. I wanted to register my. I started firm. Want to register my firm? It's really headache to get it done to register a partnership. So I took more than 6 months to get it the partnership, the business registration. After this, I can get the practicing certificate for the institute within 6-4 days time, right? I just delayed, paid the 30,000 and put to the membership board. I got practicing certificate within 5 days. I got 6 months to get the business registration for the partnership. Utter failure, right? How can they, within 6 months, I can pass the way, right? So then, within 6 months, how can I earn within 6 months? They don't know about that. So they just focus about that document and all. They don't think about that, the opportunity cost and the ways they are doing. I can't earn. I am going over there, delaying documents. I'm sacrificing my job time as well. So I am running out of my time. They don't think about that. So that's why we are telling that should be corrected. That's the headache this country is suffering, right? So that because of poor decision makers, and because of poor politics, so we have a big journey. Hey, journey හොඳට read කරලා ඉන්න. ඒකට වඩා අන්දවන්න වෙන්නේ නැහැ. Not status. Facebook එකේ decision ගන්න එපා. Post වලින්. එවලින් decision එක හොඳට read කරලා ඉන්න. මේ part එක කොටෙන්. හැමදේම හරි දැනින් අල්ලගන්න. වැරදි දැනින් අල්ලගන්න එපා. හැමදේම religion එකට respect කරන්න. හරිම short. So I respect all the religions. Perfect guidance to the life. Take the guidance to the guide. Don't take that as a headache. Right? Take a burden and peaceful. Take it out of the So they use that religion guidelines to your life to happiness. All the religion system. Your betterment, your success. Fasting karan or you fasting, giving kind of the best practice to their life. So you can join with them and do it. But if the country for everything, as an accountant, as auditor, you know other ways, right? So it's a crazy. So then you can enjoy that by seeing a set of plate of foods, and you are giving outside, and after giving that we can donate to some other. That's the only feeling you can get for positiveness, right? Other than that, with the offering a food plate, if it is we come up with the miracles and all, it's utter failures, right? Eva, educated, liquid orders, very respectful. Either they know that, so then add that audit sense to that. So then it's creating values to the society. You can change the society. You can direct the society. You can direct your organization with good governance and good set of controls. Right? Okay. Right. So that's the basic background to the basic, introduction to the topic and link with the main topic, audit and assurance subject. Right. So these are the contents we are discussing about. So after finalizing, after finishing this part, aware, you should be comfortable with this aspect. So already we discussed this, right? Design, implementation, and operation. We are comfortable. Likewise, here and there, I am discussing each and every topic. If I miss anything, I also human being. Intentionally, I am not going to miss anything. If I am missing anything, please respect. You can highlight that. I am not taking that as a mistake ID or kind of a. That's good. That's good to highlight, right? That's good to highlight. Right. Okay. At what time we are finishing the lecture? 3 or 5. So because I am doing a hobby, right? I don't care about the time. Hobby because I am very good. Hobby එක ඉගෙන ගන්න කියන එක ප්‍රශ්නේ. අන්න එහෙම සෙට් වුණා නම් win-win situation. දැන් මෙතන මේක අනිත් පැත්තේ. වා මේක දැන් ඉවරේ දැන් ටීම් එකේ ඉන්නේ. මම තව කරගන්න තමයි ඒක අර දෙපැත්තට මෙහෙම අදින්නේ. එකම සටනක් තමයි ටීම් කරන්නේ. That's about lecturing. That's why I like it. Then I that's a happiness. Good. Right. We discuss about this. How, who, what, when. Control attributes already done. And then we have a set of controls in organization. We can divide, we can classify it to different sectors, buckets, right? Some of them are detective, some of them are preventive. You know that, right? Preventive, detective. So the risk can be prevented by using preventive control. Right? Through detective control, risk already happened. You can detect that happened or not. You can detect it. Right? So what's your preference to have? Preventive control or detective control? The preference to have in your life. Preventive control, the audit එකේ තියෙන risk එකක් ඒ විදිහට paper structure එකයි assignments with මේ set එක නිසා මේ lecture එකට ටිකක් පාඩයක් වෙනවා වගේ කියලා risk එකක් තියෙනවානේ. Yes, coming color is not that good. So because of that, it's creating a risk. So then preventively we have put controllers. Not detective. Detective control can provide. Results are out of පස්සේ pass paper, තමන්ගේ paper එක pass paper එකක් ඉඳලා then එක තමයි detective controls. So then you can put some preventive controls for audit and assurance. That's really good, right? So then we are motivating, we are promoting to have set of more preventive controls in organization. It's very cost effective. It's not impactful for the organization, right? But we are not telling that you have to have 100% preventive controls. It should be a combination of preventive and detective controls. Why I'm telling like that? Detective control is a control to a preventive control. Detective control always checking the preventive controls, whether that preventive controls happen or not correctly. This will test preventive controls. Detective control is a control on preventive controls. Yes. This detective control, a classic example is a bank reconciliation. Through bank reconciliation, what we are checking? Have we done proper approvals for payments, receipts, right? So that's a classic example for preventive controls. So that's about preventive and detective controls. Other things, yes. I think so the accession level and financial statement level will be discussed later. It's taking time, right? So then we have manual and IT dependent manual controls. I will give some examples. Then control should be designed, implement, and operate effectively in an organization. We have already discussed that, right? I hope you are comfortable. For today, I'm not going to discuss more. I'm thinking that you are overloaded now with these concept, reasons, basic paper structure, audit assurance, audit firm, and with control governance framework. Too much, right? My expectation is at least learn about 40% from the lecture. I'll ask some of the things next week from you all. So I expect your positiveness. Right? So that's it for today. We'll meet up with a very effective lecture without any delays. If we are completing syllabus quickly, we can learn more accounting aspects, accounting treatments. Then I'm available to teach you all. So we'll utilize this time maximum way. So then I will help you to develop, right? So I'm available anytime. And before the exam, till 3 o'clock, I'm available to clarify anything. Exam hours in the morning, right? So then we'll discuss and we'll do a good job, right? So then whatever the things you do, love and respect. That's the requirement. That's it for today. Right? People who are joining virtually, I hope you had a good time. Expect your participation. If you have any doubts, any difficulties, let me know. So then I will help to your colleagues to open a WhatsApp group through that, or email, or whatever mode you can reach out. So then we do this effectively. Thanks.
Thanks, sir.
Yes, I'll upload all the post manuals to the LMS. Still, I didn't get that link to upload for the 17A. I didn't get that. 17B. Yeah, so then that was not. I need to check my mail so that I will upload today itself so that you can get all the material and whatever the related supporting document for those things. I will stop recording. So thank you very much.